very good evening, everyone, and welcome to All Four Back Season 2. Yes, we're back for the brand new season of STS, Season 19. I'm, of course, Chester430, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-colleagues. From the Pie Men this season, we welcome Haddington. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, all.
And he's not riding the lead this season. We still have him back in as a co-presenter. It's Shaz. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone. That sounds really weird. Hadlington
Yeah.
at the Pie Men. That sounds
Yeah.
really strange.
Oh, well, as you guys tell, it's been a very long winter, and a very interesting build-up this year, of course. We weren't sure how many teams were going to be in Season 19 this year, but the floodgates opened when team building started. We're going to run down a little bit of what's going to happen on tonight's program, just to give you all a bit of an insight as to what's going to be happening. Because with this show being the first one of the new season, obviously there's been no matches, there's been no team track selections yet, but there has been the BGP and SES Challenge final, which we're going to get into later on in the show. But of course, team building is going to happen first. Then the BGP and SCS series track draw, and of course the Knockout Cup draw. But first of all, I got to say, Hads, of course, you're going in as a Pie Man this year, but not as captain. I guess for you, it's less pressure this year.
I think so a little bit. Yeah, it's nice to be able to relax a little bit, and I think you still have your captain head on a little bit and wonder where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
But it's only the second season of Road not being a captain, so it is a bit strange. And the team I'm at is I've only raced with one of the guys before, so it's new. It's all a bit new to me, so we'll see how it goes. It's looking good so far.
And of course, as I said, Hads, that obviously you're not in the league this season, but again, still here and there, I guess, for yourself.
Didn't take long for you to get me and Hads mixed up, did it?
Oh
I
dear.
thought after 22 episodes, you would have got used to it by now.
Yeah. Just change name crest.
No,
There you go.
I decided, I think I mentioned it in the media chat earlier. I decided to sort of step back a little bit because it's, I was hardly seeing the kids. I mean, I was on this bloody thing every night. Getting home from work at 6:45, and by 7:30 I was sitting in here in the study on my computer, and I didn't see the kids go to bed. Sort of by the time I sort of come off here, they were in bed already. I'm practicing every night. If I'm not practicing, I'm doing this. If I'm not doing this, I'm doing research for this. So I just wanted to take a little step back and be a family man again.
Yeah. Well, of course, myself, Hads, and Shads are part of the media team this year. So, of course, we have our AGM on Tuesday. So, we're going to get all in the bits and pieces as to what we're doing in terms of the media side. But, of course, team building took centre stage a couple of weeks ago, I might add. I think me and Craig were in Plymouth when that actually happened. A lot of new faces, new names, some returning ones as well. So, the Season 19 Roll of Honour is the defending champions Warriors, the Cowboys, the Pie Men, Norse make their return, and it's a welcome back to the Spartans this season, and it's a welcome into STS for two brand new teams, the Panthers and the Wolves. Now, of course, it's only a game, but we want to have as many team names and old school tracks coming in and all that, and having the Panthers and the Wolves in the STS game this year is brings back some memories for the boys that are riding for those teams. Of course, I know that Capes is in the chat with us. He's riding for the Panthers this year as captain, and of course Sizzler for the Wolves. Of course, we say goodbye to the Storm, the Dynamite, Scorchers as well. So that's three we've had to lose, unfortunately. But yeah, I guess the amount of teams you had this year, you won't get all the teams back in. But hopefully in the future, if this game continues to be, big and it gets to be a bit more active, get more teams coming in, and maybe in the near future we'll get some more in. So, starting off with our first team review, or sorry, team preview, I say rather, and we are taking a look at the Warriors, defending league champions, captained, of course, by the one and only Tank, and a couple of names there you might be familiar with. Thrax, for example, Heppel making a return into the league this season, Badger, Cam as well. GPR 191 making a return into the number 7 berth there, but they are led at number 1 by the GOAT of the game, the man that's done it all in this season, a man that's going back to his roots. Of course, he was a Workington Warrior back in Season 1 when this game first took charge, and that is Craig leading the way on a 9.16 average. And well,
And the guy Winchester stuck in the fence recently.
and the guy that Winchester stuck in the fence on Thursday night. I knew that would come in eventually. If you haven't seen that video, chat, we'll try and get Tank to put it in the end of the show because it was actually brilliant. But first of all, Warriors, defending champions, a much different team than they were last year. Of course, headed by Craig. Of course, Hads, your thoughts on the Warriors team?
I think it still looks pretty strong compared to last season. Obviously, you got Craig coming in at 1, effectively in place of Ryan. I think the second and third riders there, Cam and Badger, we all know how much they've improved over recent seasons. If they can continue to do that, obviously Stephen will always be holding his own, and I think the same as Heppel as well. I think he's a bit better than a 5.6 average. So I think if they can get those guys working together and shall I say, Craig gets in the practice with the other guys and it rubs off on them a little bit, don't think they'll be too far away.
Yeah, of course tracks haven't been selected yet, so it's still unsure as to where the Warriors will end up. Will they go back to an old school track like Workington, or maybe retain Somerset? You think? But who knows? We'll find that out because, of course, deadline for track selection is 11 p.m. on Sunday. Of course, we'll then have all the news, views, and details of that once the tracks are all selected. I'm going to bring in again, if I can, Hads. Your one to watch for the Warriors this season? Who do you think is going to be one to look out for?
I'm gonna go Cam, I think, because he improved last season under the Scorchers who he was riding for last season, in the middle of the team, and I think it'll be good to see how much he's progressed this season, especially working alongside somebody like Craig. If that rubs off on him, then there's no reason why he can't get above an 8-point average for me, if he puts the effort and the practice in. But obviously, we know he's a pretty young guy and he's had exams going on the last couple of years, I think. So we'll have to see.
So that was the
Warriors team, of course.
Can I just say I disagree with Hads on this? I think this, I'm going to upset some people here, but this looks like a very much last minute put together side to me. I think they'll finish in the bottom 3.
Oh, strong words there from yourself, Shads. Strong words there, my friend.
Yeah, I think this looks to me, doesn't look to me like a title challenging side. Sorry to those listening. That's before I know the track, but
yeah,
even so, I just obviously Craig's gonna score highly, but I don't know how many meetings GPR is going to turn up for. Looking at his previous, he's not been the most reliable in the past, and from my experience, and I can't see Badger rode half the season at reserve last season, which put his average quite high. And if you notice, after he went into the main body of the team, he scores sort of like tailed off. The riding as like third heat leader, I think it's asking a lot
Yeah, so of course then, well, I say strong words there from yourself,
Well,
Shads,
I'm
and of
being
course,
honest.
I get
I've got no dog in this race this year, so I can I can be brutal.
absolutely. I say, while we still got you here, Shads, we're going to go on to our second team now, which will be the Cowboys, captained by Bobby, and they have the other goat of the game, Stefan, the only rider outside of a 10-point average or over a 10-point average, along with Stephen, Bobby, Super Dip, Rico, Le Sorcier, and Lango, of course, comes in from the Storm. Shads, your thoughts on the Cowboys? Of course, being led by Stefan, but a strong middle pairing with Bobby and Stephen 101.
Yeah, Bobby's average dipped last year, didn't it? Mid-season onwards. He's obviously gonna improve that. I can't see any reason why it won't. Dip, if Stefan can do what he normally does and sort of like coach, he's a terrific coach. I mean, he knows the lines everywhere. Dip can maintain that. But the key for them is going to be getting Lango and Le Sorcier going. Lango's average is ridiculous for his standard. I mean, if you look at him in the latter part of season 17, I mean, he was averaging around 7 points a meeting when he came back after he left the game, didn't he? He came back as a guest. I think he was averaging around 7 points a meeting. So he can
Dodgy.
put a couple of points. Dodgy, yeah, maybe. He can
Dodgy
put a
guest.
couple of points on that. And if Le Sorcier comes back to, I think he was a 5 or 6 pointer in his heyday. If those two get going, I think Cowboys can be top two. And 101's obviously going to improve his a little bit, I should think, depending on the track, of course. But yeah, the top three going to be crucial. That's a terrific top three. To get Bobby's average, he's not a 6.81 rider. I can't see a weakness there.
So even without the Cowboys getting their track selection, you think they could be potential league winners, top three at least?
Top two, I'd say, looking
Top
at the other
two.
teams.
Wow. So who would be your one to watch then this season?
I'm
Shads?
going for Lango. I'm going for Lango because that's a ridiculously low average. I don't think he's ever been that low before. I think his first season at Storm with me in season 2, I think he was about a 3-pointer. But he's been a 7-pointer in the past. And if he gets going, because he had a few issues last year. I mean, last season he was working hard. I think he went about 16 days on the trot working, and he couldn't ride so many meetings. But if he can get going and he spends more time in the game, I think he can put a couple of points on that easily.
So Lango is your man to watch for the Cowboys this season. Of course, Bobby with that absolute steal of getting Stefan in the first round there, and of course backed up by 101. And if the track selection is spot on for the Cowboys, they could be a surprise this year. So moving on to team number 3, and that is the Piemen, and captained by Bewitch. And of course, we've known the Piemen for many years. They came in season 2, and they were Peterborough, I think, right the way through, right until V2 then got the chop. But Bewitcher has used his old head and got a couple of decent, well, I say decent riders, but quite a power-packed line, should I say, with getting Powis from the now defunct Storm team, leading the charge number 1. Squall, Hadlington, obviously you're in at number 4 there with Tintin, Westy Boy, and Alan McNally goes in at number 7. Of course, Had, you're part of this team. Piemen this season, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we've got a good bunch there. To be honest, I mean, we've got a lot of. I think I worked it out with the second most experienced team. I think it was behind the Cowboys.
5 ex-skippers there.
Yeah, we got a lot of obviously people who's been captains bouncing. ideas off each other already. I mean, from the practice we've seen, obviously, myself and Squall riding pretty well last week. So I think, I mean, a Tintin at a number 2 as well. I think that could, hopefully, if he's partnered with Paris, obviously, at the start of the season, I think them two can work well together. But so far, everyone's looking good. I mean, training's been going well. I have been surprised. I mean, because I haven't seen much of Westy Boy before. Myself and obviously Alan, we know the first couple of seasons he rode on the game, he was struggling quite a lot. But from what I've seen in practice with him, he has improved. So looking forward to it. It's a different challenge. So I think we're all pulling in the same direction, and I don't think a lot of people will fancy us to do very well, to be fair. So yeah, a bit of an underdog tag, I think, this season.
And out of your bunch, who would you say was your one to watch this year for the Pinemen this year?
Oh, I can't comment on that one. I think you might have to ask the Shad that one.
I'll bring Shads in actually. Yeah, Shad, your thoughts on the Pinemen this year, and your thoughts on who'd be
Yeah,
their one to watch.
this is a dodgy one. I can't really place them. I don't think they'll be challenging at the top. I mean, Paris is a terrific organizer. I think you'll need to be with Beretta as captain.
Shall I give you a stat, Chad? Shall I give you a nice stat?
Give me a stat.
Paris has never failed to finish below the top 3 in all his 9 seasons.
Really? I think he'll need to this season. I think he'll need to. It looks like a mid-table side to me. It looks like a third or fourth side to me. It doesn't look like a team that's going to be challenging. I mean, you've got to get Alan going this season. I know the Warriors won the league last year with Alan. I think he only won one race. Westy Boy, we had Badger at reserve last season, so that won you a lot of meetings. But I can't see Westy Boy winning many meetings for you. So you're going to have to rely a hell of a lot on your top 3, the top 4, and Bewitcher's going to have to improve that average a little bit. I think Squall and Paris will probably maintain that. I think Squall could easily put a little bit on that. But I think the pressure is going to be on the top 3, top 4 there to score winning meetings to get anywhere near the top. I can't place them, but I can't place them top 2. I think like 3rd, 4th, or 5th.
So mid-table finish for the Pinemen, you think then, Chad?
I believe so, yeah.
Interesting thoughts. So moving on to team number 4, and I believe this is the yes, it is the return of the North. Of course, they were at Hackney last season, and a couple of new names in the team this year. Of course, led by Max ST, Fakey, Dret Lockter. That's going to be a name to ponder on in the future. Mackinnon, Tanny, Sculio, and Sletter returned from last year's team. And of course, led by Fetchke and Max ST, of course, the North took them a while to get going last season. But then they had that surprise win against the Warriors, which you all know about. And obviously, very surprising towards the end of the season. Had your thoughts on the North making a return across the pond? Just as Fake wanted to chat.
Yeah, I think first of all, it's great to see them continue and return this season. Obviously, they done their apprenticeship, so to speak, last time. But from what I've seen, I raced in their meeting a couple of weeks ago. Max and Fakey, obviously, you know what you get with them. They're two pretty decent guys at the top end. But I think the one number 3 there, Dret Locker, he rode very well in that meeting, and he did a couple of meetings that I ran as well, and he looks pretty steady on 7. I think he could probably maintain that average, to be fair. I think Mackinnon as well could improve on that 520. The next one, Tarney, obviously we've never seen him. He's actually racing in their meeting this Sunday. So that'll be the first look we get at him. But I think the bottom two could be key for Norse. I mean, Sulio and Sletter, they both improved a hell of a lot on the last few matches. And there was riding in the SCS, I think, as well, Sulio. So I think those two could be probably two of the best 6s and 7s, I'd say, going up in the league this season.
So you would say that the reserves for the North are going to be
I think they could be
the ones to watch. You think, yeah?
key, yeah, and I think if they get, I think I'd say Dret Locker, but I think the reserves will help them win a couple of meetings. I think that'll be the support that the top two need from the third rider.
Shad, do you agree with that about the pick that the North that Had's made about the North there?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to win more than the 2 meetings they won last year. They definitely look stronger, and I mean, five of them been retained from last season, and that experience racing is gonna put them in good stead for this season. Yeah, I agree with what Had said. Brett Locker looked pretty decent when we saw him in that meeting. He looked very, very handy, and I like Hads. I'm looking forward to seeing Tanny on Sunday. I believe that's being streamed as well. So if you're not rating in it, I think there's 3 spaces left if anyone wants to jump in. But just to see how they do, it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. And Studio's a funny one because he was pretty good in the SCS last season. And to see him on a 4-point average is very strange. He's a lot better than that.
Well, I was just going to mention about the North meeting taking place on Sunday, Had, but well done in getting that put out. Of course, I think there's 3 spaces left for that meeting, so get yourself in there while you can. First come, first serve, I guess, and getting to see Fakey and all that. So, moving on to Hobnob's saying put him in. So Hobnob's in a position for that meeting, Fedgky. So
you can turn his mic off first, though.
Yeah, give if you can, mate.
Come on, Baz, sort it out.
Does he know? Does he know?
Obviously not.
No. Baz, your microphone.
Bollocks.
He knows.
Yeah, he knows. Oh dear. Yeah, but it's great. It's great to see the North making a return. Will they go back to Hackney? You never know. Crazy things have happened. But yeah, great. I say great to see the North back this season. Come back for season 19. Hopefully, you can see some more of them this season. Moving on to the next team now, and it is a welcome back to the Spartans. Now, I think the Spartans last rode in season.
Turn your mic off, Baz.
He's done it, Lango.
Yeah, I know. Love winding them up.
Now it's your turn.
Check off.
We're gonna need some bleepers for this.
Anarchy.
Yeah, exactly. So Spartans, I believe.
Just before 9 PM.
Thanks, Badge. So Spartans coming in. I think they last rode season 15, if I'm correct in saying. And they have
Don't think they did.
But before that,
well, I think I'm thinking it's 15, but I'm not entirely sure.
No,
But
they haven't rode since I've been in the game. Not
no,
14.
I came back for season 14 and they weren't riding then.
Season 15 is miles away, Dan. Okay, that's cool. Well, Powers, if you can shed some light on the situation, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Season 7, 8, 7.
Yeah. But this team here, Spartans, I mean, what a team they've got so far. I mean, getting Racer Ryan from the Warriors, DL Shaw from, I believe, Dynamite? No, was it Dynamite?
Yeah.
DL Shaw? Yeah,
Yeah.
DL Shaw. Ben Thompson from the Pie Men, Hobnob as well. But the one I'm interested in seeing, is someone, well, back when I was racing season 3 for the Romford Icemen, number 3, Toretto, was in that team, and he's made a return this year for season 19 on a 7.07 average. I gotta say, back when Toretto was riding, he never really spoke. He just did his talking on the track and carried the team most nights. And he was absolutely phenomenal. Was Toretto. Like I say, it was very quiet, very, didn't speak much, but he did his talking on the track, and
Bit like Powis.
yes. And to come back in on a 7.07 average is an absolute steal. Of course, you got DL Shaw, who's the current silver helmet holder as well. He'll be defending that this year, as the number 2 rider behind Racer Ryan. But yeah, Hans, your thoughts on the Spartans this year? The welcome return for the Spartans.
Yeah, I think the team they're put together there is a very good team. I think they'll be up there, definitely challenging top 3 for me. I don't know if people know, I was actually agreed to race for the Spartans before the team building took a bit of a turn. With the groups and people being reassessed, and one of those there, number 6, which was Rossi. He's had over a 6-7 average before, so I think if he can get going, he's good mates with Ryan. He can easily put a point or 2 on that average easily, and I think that will balance itself out. Maybe Cappy at the start, so I think they've got a very, very good team. I mean, that top 3 is just something else, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, of course. I say Racer Ryan, who's literally when he was with the Warriors last season, he was really, really good. And for DL Shaw to get him as number 1 rider,
Yeah,
is quite a steal, should I say rather. Interesting to see how Cappy goes this year. Of course, Cappy, I believe, is a new face to the game, so hopefully he'll be getting a lot of tips and tricks from all the guys. Starts at number 4, so he'll be paired with Toretto, I believe, if the format's the same as it was last year.
yeah.
And of course Ben Thompson. Of course, Ben Thompson's obviously part of the media team with us, and he'll be doing
Yeah.
a lot of the live streams for us, hopefully, which we do appreciate Ben Thompson doing that, and also refereeing and also riding. So he does quite a lot for the media team and also for the game. So credit to Ben Thompson for doing that for us this season 19. Greatly appreciated. Shad, I'm going to get your thoughts on your one to watch as well. And I know we'll have Hads as well, but I want to get your thoughts too on the Spartans this year, making a return this year to the league. I mean, this team looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm getting last season's Storm vibes from this side with that top 3 and Hobnob at 7. I mean, that's ridiculous. It depends a lot on if Rossi can get going back to his best. I mean, like you said earlier, he was a 6-7 pointer back in the day.
Yeah.
Give him a couple of meters to get into the swing of it. Happy's the one that I'm looking forward to seeing race. But Toretto, wow, 7.07 average, and he's a 9 pointer back in the day. But I'm getting serious Storm last season Storm vibes from this side. I think they're going to finish top 2. I think they could even go and win it.
And it'll also be
But
a
you see,
battle between.
that top 3 is ridiculous. I mean, my rider to watch is going to be Rossi, just to see how he does if he can get back to his best. I mean, we know Toretto can. I mean, his average is only that low because he spent so many seasons out, and he's also, I think it was averaged out over 3 meetings, and I think he averaged 5 in a couple of them. But then one season he banged in a 9 point average, and he can easily get up to the 8s. Yeah, but I think Rossi's going to be interesting riding at reserve.
Tanks just said, so Spartans to finish second then at Shad. If we go in with the same as last
I'm waiting.
season,
I'm
LOL,
waiting.
league
I'm waiting
favourite.
to see. I'm waiting to see the track choices before I do the odds.
Yes.
But
And then
even looking at that side, I mean Ben Thompson at 5, and he'd be riding at number 2 a lot of the time, and that's a ridiculous looking side. I think that's gonna challenge right at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the track selection will be crucial this season, not just for this team, but all others in the league. Want to get the most out of a home track advantage this year. But yeah, Spartans a welcome return back to the league this season, and we hope to see them doing well. Challenging for league honours, you think? Because of course, looking at you'll have the pairs, you have the fours. Of course, the pairs for Spartans, you're looking at Ryan and DL Shaw straight out the bot there. And then maybe like a number 3 rider, maybe Toretto or Ben Thompson. Looking at that very, very strong team. But so that was the Spartans, and we're now going to move on to our first of our new teams, and it's a welcome to the Panthers. Yes, the Panthers. Everyone knows the Peterborough in IRL, but this team here, led by Capesy, of course, Mr. Pink Gloves, Mr. Start Marshall, we know who he is. Brings in Barnage on a 9 point. I think that's an assessed average for Barney. Big Slocany, Scotty B from the Warriors, Skyrider from the Storm, Capesy at 5, Chatin comes in at 6, and everyone's had it. Everyone had it last year. The hashtag sign Craigie Harrell. He's been signed at number 7 for the Panthers there on a 3-point average. Shads, your thoughts on the Panthers this year?
Yeah, Barney. I'm not seeing much of Barney. I've seen him. I think he guested in a couple of meetings last year. But I think he's going to struggle to maintain that average. They're looking like a bottom 3 side to me. Sorry to piss on your fire, but I think they're going to be. I think they're going to struggle unless they get themselves a really nice track which they can all ride.
Yeah.
No, I've not. I don't see this side challenging for the top 3.
Oh.
Sorry,
Do you have
boys.
do you have a man to watch for the
Skyrider, definitely Skyrider. That average is a bit low for me. He should be a 7-pointer. I'm looking for Skyrider. He's probably going to be the only one who's going to improve their average. Probably Craigie Hill will as well. But I think Skyrider will be the only one who really put anything on his average next season.
Hads, do you agree with that? With the Panthers?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a season of progression for Capesy coming back as captain. I know he said before the last time we spoke to him on team building, it was a lot of orders had already agreed to sign for teams, but I think that middle order there, Scotty B and Skyrider, I think he Capesy himself, that'll be the key for their team. Obviously, we know Caney averaged over 8.43 last season, but he was riding alongside Stefan at that time. I mean, no disrespect to Barney, but he's not a Stefan. But the one I am interested in, obviously, I did the preview for this on the Facebook page, and I did put Skyrider as my man to watch, especially after we'll get to it later on the last Sunday's meeting. But my interesting one will be Chatin, because he rode pretty well for the Crusaders in the one season he rode before. Never looked out of any race, to be fair. And I think if he puts the time in, and obviously he's with a lot of these lads have rode together in SC UK, so I think he could easily put a point on that average. I think, and be challenging for them towards the middle of the team coming into the season.
So of course, I think, did Panthers get the first choice of tracks this season, or is it like done in like order of?
Panthers get the 6th choice, I believe. They had a draw with Wolves.
Yes, of course. Yes.
It's very rare that two teams pick the same track as the first choice. From my experience, I think it's only ever gone down to second choice. I think, but no, it's. I mean, there's so many tracks to choose from. There's very small chance you're going to pick the same track as another team.
Yeah. But we'll say we all wish Capesy the best of luck with the Panthers team. Of course, bringing back the Panthers name into Speedway in some form or another. We hope to see the Panthers in real life come back onto the Shale in not too distant future. As we will our final team review, which will be the Wolves, which was captained by Mr. Sizzler, and Sizzler's team is looking quite impressive with Ads MFT, the SCS Series champion, JC, Owen, Wolfie, Putty, and Liam complete the Wolves team. Of course, the Wolves track or season preview will be posted on the Sliders page after this podcast. But Shad, your thoughts on the Wolves team for this year?
Yeah, a lot for me depends on Owen. And we all seen Owen when he first came into the game. He was going to be the next big thing, but I think school sort of came at the wrong time for him. Early teens, school sort of came first, and I think Sis was pretty strict on the kids doing their homework. So, I think he sort of drifted away, didn't he? I think he came back for a couple of guest appearances last season, and the reserves don't look great to me. Liam's got to get going. I think with Sizzler there holding his hand, hopefully. I mean, Liam seems to get great starts, but he can't seem to put 4 laps together. And Hutty's probably pretty similar to that. Wolfie had a great end to the season, but he started the season pretty poorly. No doubt in the top 2 can still do it. I think they're going to be sort of like mid-table towards the bottom, from my opinion anyway.
Had do you agree?
Yeah, I think I have
disagree?
to. I think I'd say around about mid-table. I think they're a similar team to what we have at the Parliament, if I'm honest. The top 3, obviously, a lot of experience there. I think JC is way better than a 729 average, to be fair. How he's never got over 8 in recent seasons, I'm not too sure. But as Shad's alluded to, I think Owen and Wolfie will definitely be the key, picking up the points in the middle of the team. I think if Owen can get anything going, which I think he may. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, Sizzler's missing tonight with the lads' football presentation. I don't know if they're continuing to play or they'll be putting time into something else, or that the time will be into STS. But I think those 2 will be definitely important. But it's good to see as well, Hutty. He's normally in the bottom group starting off. I mean, he had a pretty decent season for Storm last time around, so I think it'd be a middle of the table, possibly fourth place team, I'd say, similar to Pyman. So we'll have to wait and see.
Well, I mean, Shad, do you agree with that? What Hads has alluded to there, of course, with
Yeah.
saying
Hutty, to be fair to Hutty, he did have a decent season last season. I mean, he put well over a point on his average, and he never let us down. He was in practice almost every night we practiced. He was there, which he had been in the past. I mean, in the past he was very sporadic when he used to turn up, but we all loved Hutty last season. I think he could definitely maintain that. But I think my man to watch is definitely going to be Owen. If he put some more time in the game than he has recently, he could definitely make a mockery of that average.
Interesting choice. Well, there was the lineups for this season. I want to say massive all the best to all teams, all riders taking part this season, season 19. It's going to be a good one. Of course, track selections have yet to be decided, so that'll be in due course. I believe they said deadline is this Sunday, 11 p.m. Once we know that, there might be a show on Monday after the Speedway on TV. We are yet to confirm that because I think the idea would be to get everyone knowing what tracks they're all getting at the same time. Might be a bit more of a nicer thing to do rather than just having to see it posted on socials and stuff. But once we know, you guys will know as well. Anyway, moving on to the BGP and SCS challenge. Of course, after the season, when the season starts, we have the SCS and GP challenge final. This was a straight final, so no semi-finals and final. And looking at that lineup, it was a win for Squall, who took, well, it was between Skyrider and Squall, who finished level on 14 points. How was this meeting decided, if I may ask?
The top 4 went into the GP series, and well, basically it turned out because we
Virtually
already had
everyone
some
else went into this. Yes,
yeah, because of the
you
amount
just
of
had to
riders
turn
in,
up, didn't you?
there were 4 riders already in the SCS trying to qualify for the GP who didn't get in, so the places run down to all the way down to 15th.
Wow. So looking at that lineup, let's say
You
Skyrider.
could have qualified, Dan, if you'd have ridden.
Oh, I wouldn't. No, not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance.
No,
I'd be.
no, you're right. No, you're right. Not a chance.
I'd be fencing people too much.
You'd have been first reserve.
Yeah, that's all I'd be. So looking at that one, you had a, let's say, Skyrider qualified along with Squall. Haddington, you qualified as well, mate, on 11 points there. Good job.
Thank you.
And also Capesy got into the Grand Prix too on that 10-pointer.
Yeah.
And then the rest go into the SCS. But looking at this meeting, it looks quite entertaining in comparison. Shads?
Yeah, it was, decent meeting, some great performances, and congratulations to Skyrider. A terrific score. You know, he dropped 1 point. I think Squall beat him in one race, I think. But no, terrific. Well done to Skyrider, Squall. Hard to you. Well done. And Capesy, I think Capesy making his debut, I believe, in the GPs.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe so, yes. Yes, he is. I
He's
believe he
making
is.
his debut. That'd be a baptism of fire. Hope he does a lot. I hope he does better than I did last season.
Hobnob saying dirty down Winchester. Yeah, I know. And they say if Tank.
Oh, you're gonna live off that for a long time, aren't you?
If Tank can get the footage for us all to see, then I think we got to say the end of the show. Now, of course, the BGP and SCS finals, or the series, I say rather, takes place during the year. So of course the tracks are yet to be decided, but they will be decided here tonight as part of the SCS and BGP draws. I believe that's what we're doing next, if I'm right in saying, Tank. There we go. Okay, so the BGP and SCS series track draw. The spinning wheel will be used to conduct the track draw. First, the country will be selected, determining the location for round 1. Next, the track within that country will be selected for the first round. This process will continue until all 7 countries, sections, and tracks have been drawn. Since the track submission deadline is Sunday, we can only determine where the British round will occur. The track draw for the British round will be conducted separately to exclude any league tracks. For example, if Poland is selected first and Wrocław is then chosen, Wrocław will be the track for round 1, and if Scandinavia is selected, and Feisted is chosen, then Felsted will be the track for round 2, and so on and so forth. So, with that being said, if we have the draw all set,
Quick question for Tank. Would the SCS be riding on the same night as the GP? Because there was some talk about it not riding it in midweek, but I think that'd extend the season too long. We'll be going into Christmas time then, won't we?
True.
so Tank is just replying back with one of his major long.
Get in the pull down. Sign up for the pull. Come on.
I can confirm both will be on the Sundays. By separating them, it extends the season. The dilemma we have is finding a BGP ref now that Thrax is in the SCS. Lol.
Yeah, because Ben's in the SCS as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Step forward. I know Shaz. I was going to say Shaz. Shaz is in the SCS.
I'm
as
in
well.
it as well. I think all the usual refs are racing this season.
Yeah. You could be the most used referee now, Shads, couldn't you?
Could be.
Yeah.
Although I haven't got a survey yet. Well, not one that's good enough to race on.
Well, Badger says Stefan or Craig. Bear in mind they do have decent connections.
Stefan's in the DP.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Craig. I don't think Craig's in it. Is Craig in it this year? I think he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Ben Thompson saying it's fine. I will ref as well. Don't go over stretching yourself there, BT.
You still got to find it. You still got to find a ref for the other one.
Mm.
You need 2 refs, don't you?
That's what I was thinking, Squall.
Oh, here we go. Here's the wheel.
Okay. Well, it says the KO Cup there, but it's actually not the KO Cup. It's the SCS and BGP. So, the selection for the first round of the BGP and SCS will take us to
There's going to be an election.
There's Bass again.
Now we
Hobnob.
very careful.
Come on, Bass.
Miscellaneous International.
To Miss International. So the first round will be on a miscellaneous track.
Oh, good. Not one of them little American tracks, please.
So the first round of the BGP and SCS will be at Crisco in Slovenia.
Oh, lovely.
I'm glad you know where it is done.
Yeah. All those years watching Matty Jagar in the World Card in the Grand Prix, I know where it is.
Is Vega in this year?
Right, didn't
No.
see his name.
No, because he pulled out of the qualifier, didn't he?
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not signed up either.
He pulled out the night before, I think.
Yeah.
Saying he's going to miss his home. He's going to miss his home country's GP.
Mm. So round 2 will take us to a British track.
Which
Now, how will this work? Because of course, without the track league to be confirmed,
confirmed.
at Sunday, right? That will be round 2, yet to be confirmed. Round 3 will take us to Poland. And there's quite a few tracks in Poland that we can go to. So round 3 will be taking place at Pilar. Oh,
Oh,
Polonia Pilar. That'll be round 3. So we already have Krishko, the British track, and Pilar. As we go to round 4, and it will take us to a Grand Prix track. So where will this take place on the Grand Prix? We already have Krishko.
please not Western Springs. No,
And it's
Oh.
going to be Lejno. So two rounds in Poland.
That would have been interesting if it was Crisco again there.
Yeah, it would have been, wouldn't it?
Surely that wouldn't have been allowed.
No.
no, it wouldn't.
No, we're staying
So-
in Poland for 2 rounds.
Round 5. We head to Germany and Austria. Only a handful of tracks in Germany and Austria.
What's
So,
that one with the really long name?
Gelsenkirchen.
Begins with
Wasn't
a
that the
H, doesn't
wasn't that the one they used in the summer league?
Yeah,
I think Craig Road for them.
Gelsenkirchen, there it is.
Gelsia, that's the one.
Right. Where are we racing in Germany, Austria? For round 5. We are going to Gelsenkirchen.
Oh,
There we go.
The Gelsenkirchen gets the pick for round 5. 2 rounds to go. Where are we going? We're going to either USA or Scandinavia. Round 6.
they're all small tracks in the USA, aren't they?
We're heading to Scandinavia.
Has the USA been in the GP before? Do we know?
I don't
Only
think
in
so.
well, in real life it has been. But I don't think in
Paris says they have.
Okay, so we are heading to Scandinavia. And the round will take place at Rospigana. Former league
Sweden?
champions of Swedish league, I believe, Rospigana,
Yeah.
which now just leaves the final round taking place in the good old US of A.
Costa Mesa is going to be my guess.
Industry.
Such a small track, only 4 to pick.
Oh, don't
Oh.
Oh, Industry
So-
was one of them.
There's Victorville, there's Costa Mesa, there's Pirate Speedway. And you guys head to Victorville in the USA. So quite a different selection of tracks there. Of course we go to Poland twice this year for Lejno and Piła. We head to Gelsenkirchen in Germany, Victorville in America, and Krško in Slovenia. So some interesting track choices there, chaps. But I'm sure you guys will be raring to go when the season kicks off.
Yeah, can't wait.
You don't sound very confident there, Shads.
Yeah.
You don't sound very confident there, my good my
No,
friend.
no, never am.
Mm.
Never am.
So, That just leaves one more draw to do. And I believe is the KO Cup draw.
It is indeed.
Yep. So, the spinning wheel we used to conduct the KO Cup draw. The first, third, and fifth team drawn will be the home team in the first leg. Second, fourth, and sixth will be the away teams in the first leg. So the team draw map, the seventh team draw will receive a bye into the semi-finals and be the home team in the first leg. So the team draw format for the quarterfinals will be first team versus second, third versus fourth, and fifth versus sixth. So good luck to all teams. Let's get this draw sorted out so we know in the Knockout Cup and get your thoughts on the team draws for the KO Cup. So the first team drawing the home leg will be the Norse. So Norse first up, and they will go head to head with
Did they have last year? Was it the Cowboys?
the Panthers. So we Norse versus Panthers. So next quarterfinal will feature the Pie Men. They have a home draw. And they will go up against a tough draw for the Pie Men there. They get the Spartans, and of course the Spartans look very, very strong this season.
Easy,
So it's
yeah.
Pies,
Easy squad. No
Pies,
problem.
Pies against Spartans. The Cowboys get the next home draw. Now, will it be the Wolves or will it be the Warriors? It's going to be the Wolves, which gives the Warriors the bye into the semi-final.
Dodgy this. Who's doing the spinning wheel?
And of course, the guy who does the spinning wheel is a member
Very
of
dodgy.
the Warriors team.
Very
Yes,
dodgy this.
yes,
Very
yes.
dodgy. After missing out in the final last year, they're making sure they're going to get an easier run to the final.
Wow. Whew. So that is the draw for the Knockout Cup. Got to do what you got to do to get. What do I guess? Oh, Squall just put the wrong team logo. Put the Dragons. Dear oh dear. So out of those draws
Dragon,
then,
always a dragon.
out of those draws then, chaps, who do you think's got the most, well, the best chance?
The Warriors.
Out of the non,
No, because I think
yeah.
no, because I think if I've got it right, won't the Warriors face North or the Panthers in the semi-final?
Oh, that
Is
wasn't
that
actually.
correct?
We didn't know
Yeah.
about that, did we? Oh,
I think that's how they do it. Is that right, Tank? I'm not sure.
Heppel's going Warriors, 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 like he does. Let's go. Just awaiting confirmation from
Because it's normally
Mr.
it's normally pre-drawn.
Believe that brings us to the end of the first show of the season. Unless you guys got anything else you want to add to that?
No, just a bit of a tough draw there
Yeah,
for the Pinemen.
yeah, I do
So it'll be
agree with
Pinemen or Spartans versus Cowboys or
it.
Wolves Yeah.
Yep,
in the semi. That's the looking a bit tasty.
absolutely.
I believe we're back in a couple of weeks, lads, aren't we? So preview of the first week of the league meeting.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
There's nothing going on this week, so there's no point
No.
in having one
I
next
mean,
Friday.
there is the Norse meeting and also the track reveals. So I don't know if it's going to be worth putting on like an evening show after the speedway, say like 9:30 or something. But then it's like a bit late in it. But then it's only going to be like just giving the tracks out.
There's still 2 spaces available for the North meeting. I
The
think
Norse
no,
team,
one
yes,
one space actually, 1 space left.
one
People
space
just
left.
signed up. There's 1 space left.
Sweet.
So get in there. Be fun.
One space to go in the Norse. Right.
I should.
Let's see right. Tank, I think everyone's saying, mate, can we find the video of me fencing Greg, please?
Cappy's signed up, so that's it now.
That's the full one. Congrats, thanks,
Mhm.
Cappy. Yeah. So I think Tank's trying to find the video.
I think that's a bit of a clue as to what track they're going to be using this year.
Well,
Possibly, yeah.
It's a
potentially.
bit strange that they had the first meeting at a Scandinavian track, but the second meeting was supposed to be another Swedish track, and then they cancelled it because it was sign-up night. Now all of a sudden they're going for Coventry. It's a bit random,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I shall be practicing.
Coventry Norse.
Not a track that gets used very often.
Yeah. I think last
And
time
there-
I think last time
there'll be no recordings for anyone to look at. I shouldn't think, because
no, definitely
last time it was used
I
would have been with the
think-
old bike. So
I think
the first time meeting is going to be interesting.
I looked the other day. I think the first time I qualified for the GPs outright, the qualifier track was Coventry.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I think season 16.
Oof.
But obviously that was the old bikes.
Yeah. Here is
yeah.
the quarterfinals. So we've got Norse versus Panthers, and then the winner of that will then face the Warriors. Piemen face the Spartans. Cowboys versus Wolves. Second legs. And then the semi-finals will be Warriors versus Norse or the Panthers. And then the Piemen or Spartans will face the
That could be a
Cowboys.
potentially tasty semi-final if it's Spartans and
Cowboys or
Cowboys
Wolves.
get through.
Yes. We could potentially be seeing
If they get through.
Absolutely, yes.
You'd fancy one of those 2 to win it if they get through to the semi-finals.
Totally agree. Well, with that being said, chaps, we've gone an hour and a half. I think it's about time to wrap it up. I believe this match or this recording will be on YouTube at 8 o'clock on Saturday. So tomorrow, you ain't got long to wait. It's been great being back. Glad to do this again. We won't be here next week because obviously there's nothing going on that week. But yeah, it's been great being back, and I look forward to seeing you all again in a couple of weeks. Keep an eye out for the Facebook posts and all that for the track selections and everything. Chaps, any last words you want to give out to our viewers?
Now, I'm just looking
Up the
forward to
Piemen.
the Sunday night, see the track selections.
Yes. What was that you said, ads?
Up the Piemen.
Up the Piemen. Oh, blimey, up the Piemen. Never know. So with that being said, this has been All Four Back Season 2, Episode 1. We look forward to seeing you back here in a couple of weeks. So it is a farewell from Shads.
Good night, all.
It's a good night from Hads.
Good night, all.
And it's a good night from me, Chester. Thanks all for tuning in. And we'll see you all next in 2 weeks' time for the episode 2 of All Four Back. Until then, stay safe, ride safe, and we'll see you all soon. Take care and good night.